All right, y'all, I got 10 things for you all on what is killing your marriage. I need you to start fixing these things very quickly. You might want to save or go ahead and share this video with your spouse. If you want to know how we are doing this, again, you can go to my bio. You know what to do there. But the number one thing, and this is not number one, this is not in order. I'm just giving you 10 things. All right. One is your tongue. You just say how you feel, you say whatever you feel, and you don't care whether it's disrespectful or not. That's not the same as healthy communication. I'm talking about when your tongue is on fire and or you angry and you still just get to say what you want to say. That's killing your marriage. It's rude and disrespectful. It comes off a little condescending. You got to stop doing that. Number two, you don't have a reconciliation plan. So when you do say whatever you want to say, or when you or your spouse are offended with one another and you all get disconnected, y'all don't have a plan for how you're going to get reconnected. You don't have a plan for that. That is killing your marriage. It starts to build up resentment. Number three is comparison. You will understand that the comparison is the thief of all joy, and it takes you out of this thing called gratitude. So you're no longer grateful for the spouse you have, but now you're comparing this to the spouse you see on TV, the spouse you see on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube or whatever, and you don't know that that's a scripted spouse. You don't know how their life is on behind the scenes, but now you're caught up in comparison. Number 5, I think it is, okay? Silent expectation. This is a killer right here. You have an expectation or a vision that you saw for your marriage, and you don't realize that you can actually have that vision, but it takes work to get that. Those butterflies and the walks and the dates and stuff that you want, you can have that. That just has to be communicated. But if you have a silent expectation that you want your spouse to meet, it's never going to happen because it's silent. They don't know. You can't hold them to that expectation. All right. The next one is lack of intimacy outside of sex. So it's very hard to have sex with a person that you don't feel connected to. All right. So when there's no intimacy outside of just sex, then you all don't feel as connected. So intimacy outside of sex is like yesterday, my wife and I, we had like a 2-hour long conversation about God, the Bible, and just what we were feeling in the moment and parenting and all that stuff. And I'm telling you, we both felt such a great connection in that, to just be able to take time and talk to one another, or work out together, or walk together, or go on dates together where it's not expected to have sex, but it's just us getting quality, intimate time together. Okay. So the next one is, because I don't know what number we're on. I lost count of the number. The next one is unresolved trauma. Your trauma comes up in the marriage. And I'm not saying we all have trauma, but you have to work on that and be mindful of when this thing is impacting your marriage. All right. I can give several examples of that. All right. So the next thing is in-laws. In-laws. I think this is number 7. Number 8. This is number 8. In-laws will kill your marriage. Oh my goodness. Because you're talking to them more than you talk to your spouse. And their feelings not going to change. You're going to fall in love with your spouse again and be all like forgiving and all that. They're not going to do that. They're going to protect you. This is why we don't bring our in-laws into any of our problems. So instead, what you should do is you should have a community of other like-minded married couples that are believers that can pour into you. All right. The next one is mentorship. It's number 9. Mentorship is highly important. You want to have a couple that is further along in the marriage life than you. If you married 5 years, get somebody that's been 10, 15. Because they got something for you. Okay, they're going to tell you how to work things out. And they're going to tell you how, this is simple. They're going to have formulas and strategies that they've been trying and tested over and over and over again. This is why you want to have people in your life that have already been down the journey that you're trying to get to. And last, and this is the most important, you all right, this is killing your marriage if you lack God in your relationship, because there are certain principles that God brings to the marriage. There are principles that God brings to the marriage that allow you all to be patient and kind and love on one another on a completely different level. All All right, so those 10 things. Which one of these 10, all right, or how many of these 10 do you need to work on right now? Tell me in the comments below.